the three bodies, and there are other bodies, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to say three bodies. You can have the physical body, the energetic body that you experience when you do Tai Chi and you feel like movement, you just feel like little, pricklies, you feel energy, like you even feel pushback and resistance when you do this, right? How the little is the new big. So we have a thing with sex where, endowed men, big men, it's like, oh, that's what we want, that's what we want. And studies are not really meeting up with that stereotype. It's only like low double digits that women orgasm during intercourse. So it's not size, it's skill. 64% of women saying they were kind of satisfied with how their man's size was and didn't really need improvement. However, the man on the other side, no, it must be bigger. But she's saying she's content. So what is this really? Is this really something for her, or is this something to appease your ego? Okay, so now that we got the size thing out the way, we know it's more about skill, right? Skill. And when I say skill, I'm talking about the whole sexual skills, right? The whole bedroom skills. Here are my top three things why I say little is now the new big. Number one, little movement. I know you thought this was going to be about the size of the member, but more so it is more about skill and movement. Is the little movements that make the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to making your woman. And what I mean by little movement, there's a meditation called orgasmic meditation. It was formed by a woman. I want to say she was in California. She had an experience with a Buddhist monk who did this on her. And from then, she was off to the races on proclaiming it to the world as something, a bedroom skill that men should have when they're trying to please their women. Orgasmic meditation is when it is little, small, tiny, slight movements. So if you could take the knuckle of your first finger and just back and forth, that's all you're doing. That's little tiny movements, right? How to see how little and tiny this movement can be, how soft, okay? So I want you to think of it like when you are, say you're thinking on something, right? And you're at a meeting and you go, you're like this, or you're like this, and you're that same small, not that much pressure, just that same amount of pressure is what you're going to exert right here. Thank you for joining me on 10 Minutes of Tantra, where we scour the internet to bring you a wealth of knowledge on all things Tantra, conscious relating, spiritual readings, and more. My name is Tamanna. I'll be your host today. I've also been in Tantra and traveled to other schools of thoughts for a while now to bring a wealth of knowledge to this segment, right? So now that we're turning it this way, right? This is the woman's clitoris, right? And the pudendal nerve in particular forms a bulb on the inside right here, and it comes out and it springs into both of the labias. So if you think of both of the labias, right? The pudendal nerve runs on each side, goes in the body and comes back out to right there where the clitoris is, right? So if we move the fold back and go to, say, 2 o'clock, really slightly, right? That is equivalent to mindfulness in a sexual way. Mindfulness in a sexual way. This does multiple things. This one slows her brain down. It gets it from the brain into the body. And that's what you want when you're trying to cultivate a relationship, to where you're not spending so much time trying to get her to stop thinking about chores, the work, all the many things that she, come here with me, honey. Be here with me, not everywhere else. That gets it from the brain into the body, right? Number 2, it gets her to experience and be really mindful about what's going on in her own body and her own sexual profile. There's 2. 3, it is the beginning. This is because, again, the clitoral orgasm is elementary compared to what the actual potential she can experience. But you got to start somewhere, right? So, but the goal is in the minute movements, okay? So, orgasmic meditation is one of the reasons where the little is the new big, right? So it's just back and forth, right? You're having her lay there. We're not going to engage in extra. All we're doing is this. If she wants to do extra and all that, just try to tone down that energy and just keep it on this. Orgasmic meditation. Number 2, auric energy body. Okay, so as we're going from McDonald's right here, the orgasm tip, over to the VIP section, the Ruth's Chris, the Skybox, you know what I'm saying, the one that requires a little bit more work. Very few are up there because of the work that it required. Then we're talking about the energy body. So in Tantra is the art of weaving masculine and feminine energy together to create healing, manifestation, and bliss. So you take your partner's energy and it busts down the little rocks, pebbles, and boulders that are in your streams that prevent you from being your highest and best self. These rocks and boulders are typically emotional trauma, past life experiences, this life experiences, social programming, family programming, maybe some like traumatic sexual experience, a belittling experience. These all create pebbles, rocks, and boulders in our stream. So Tantra picks these up and just tosses them out and be like, you don't need that, you don't need that, you don't need it, you don't need that. And that stream starts flowing so you become your highest and best self. Now, when you're having an orgasm, it is the 3 bodies, and there are other bodies, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to say 3 bodies. You have the physical body, the energetic body that you experience when you do Tai Chi and you feel like movement, you just feel like little, pricklies, you feel energy, like you even feel pushback and resistance when you do this, right? The energy body, and then you have your higher self, which we will call the light body. When you orgasm, all 3 come into line up. When the little is now big, what I mean by that is if you are Tantra practicing, you're doing your Tantra practices, i.e. Qigong, and working on your auric member. Remember, you have a physical member, and I just said you have an energy body. You can project your energy member as far as you think is humanly possible, because thought goes, energy flows. So if you don't think it could be big, it won't be big, but you have the ability, right? Just turn that button on and you can project your member farther than what it is physically, to where she will feel like you grew. Like, what's going on? And she will not know the difference because you are connecting with her, right? But all you did was interject a little bit of conscious energy toward the end of your member to extend it out to where she feels like you have gained. Just that little thing, by doing a little bit of work, energy work now, gave you big rewards when it came to intimate time. Number 3, love language. You'll be surprised how the little things matter. If you know your partner's love language, and you cater to that, those little things add up. Those little things are the new big. It won't matter if you're not attending to the little things. Sex is not everything. And it won't matter if you don't cultivate your energy to heal and create manifestation and bliss. And not to mention the self-improvement that occurs when you begin on this journey. And number 3, doing other techniques, little movements, little subtle movements is what you will find in the course that gives you the most bang in your buck. It is not the Hollywood. Those are sensational, right? Those too have a purpose, right? But what I'm telling you is that the movement, and when it becomes undulating that you see, until it hits certain nerve ganglia where it can become full body, you're still kind of at the McDonald's stage. It's the little things that matter. It's the mustard seed that matters. Okay? So I hope this helps. Check out our other playlists. I do give monthly spiritual readings for men. Check that out. That'll be coming out soon.